Namaskar, good evening. You're watching Breaking Ground and I'm Swati Joshi. Well, let's begin the broadcast with this big breaking news coming in on the broadcast as a brazen bid now to derail the fight for justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. A desperate bid, a desperate attempt is being made to gag truth, which has been unveiled by Times Now in High Court. We're being told that some lawyers and ex-cops have united to gag vilification of police. In fact, remember, Times Now has been getting you exclusive angles. We've exposed the cover-up and the complicity in Sushant Singh Rajput's death probe, and now a media trial spin. That's the propaganda which is running against Times Now at this point in time. This, in fact, is a bid to silence Times Now's Justice for Sushant quest. So lawyers and ex-cops now coming together. They are moving to the court to demand that there should be, in fact, a gag on the media coverage. Let's listen to the reactions rather coming in.
हम 8 रिटायर्ड आईपीएस ऑफिसर्स ने मेरे समेत श्री एमएन सिंह साहब, शिवनंदन, संजीव दयाल, सतीश माथुर, सुब्रमण्यम, बीएन यादव और रघुवंशी हैं शामिल। हमने 31 अगस्त की रात को हाई कोर्ट मुंबई में PIL फाइल की है। हमारा कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बारे में हमारा कोई भी पेटिशन नहीं है, कुछ भी कहना नहीं है। CBI हो, नारकोटिक्स ब्यूरो हो या ED या जो भी कोई, उस पर उनका अधिकार है। हमें मीडिया रिपोर्टिंग के बारे में भी कुछ कहना नहीं है जो फैक्ट्स बेस हो। हमारा सिर्फ इशू है कि जो मीडिया ट्रायल हो रही है, जो कुछ टीवी चैनल्स अपनी TRP के चक्कर में या कुछ और पर्सनल सेटल स्कोर करने के चक्कर में वो मुंबई पुलिस की जो प्रतिमा है उस पर वो अटैक कर रहे हैं, जिसका बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसान पुलिसिंग के ऊपर बाद में होगा। आज भी इसे समझ पाएंगे, लेकिन बाद में इट विल हैव फार रीचिंग इम्प्लीकेशंस, क्योंकि जो लोगों का विश्वास है वो नहीं टूटना चाहिए। क्योंकि और मीडिया अगर कवरेज हो रही है अपने फैक्ट्स के ऊपर, हमें ज़रूर करिए, वो आपका अधिकार है, जनता का भी अधिकार है सच्चाई सुनना। लेकिन मीडिया ट्रायल ना की जाए जिसमें मीडिया खुद ही प्रोसिक्यूशन करे, ज्यूरी भी बन जाए और जज भी बन जाए। पर उतना ही कहना है, इससे ज़्यादा मैं बोल नहीं सकता, क्योंकि हाई कोर्ट में है। हमें जुडिशरी पे पूरा विश्वास है, हम उनका आदर करते हैं और जो उनका निर्णय होगा वो हमें मान्य होगा, हम उनका सम्मान करेंगे। इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है। धन्यवाद। सच है कि हम 8 रिटायर्ड आईपीएस ऑफिसर्स ने मेरे समेत श्री एमएन सिंह साहब, शिवनंदन, संजीव दयाल, सतीश माथुर, सुब्रमण्यम, बीएन यादव और रघुवंशी हैं शामिल। हमने 31 अगस्त की रात को हाई कोर्ट मुंबई में PIL फाइल की है। हमारा कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बारे में हमारा कोई भी पेटिशन नहीं है, कुछ भी कहना नहीं है। CBI हो, नारकोटिक्स ब्यूरो हो या ED या जो भी कोई, उस पर उनका अधिकार।
All right, let's go across to my colleagues Kajal and Siddhant joining us on the broadcast. To Kajal first. Kajal, Mr. Pasricha says हमें इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बारे में कुछ नहीं कहना, हमें मीडिया रिपोर्टिंग के बारे में कुछ नहीं कहना, लेकिन विलिफिकेशन नहीं होना चाहिए. Then the question is, who are they to decide what should media cover and what should media not cover? Is it that the questions that are being raised by Times Now are making them uncomfortable?
Well, these are retired IPS officials, so one doesn't know what exactly is the locus that they are, perhaps a sense of brotherhood maybe with the Mumbai Police. We do not yet know what is the reason why they have filed this particular petition. But the petition goes on to talk about media trials and asks for certain restrictions on coverage. The High Court heard the petition today, and the High Court also went on to say that given the fact that media channels and the CBI were yet to file a reply on this particular case and they were not present today in the court, they have actually been asked to give replies. So the High Court has also said that they want to hear from the media channels and will not pass a one-sided order just based on the allegations that have been made in the petition. So 2 separate petitions have been filed, and both of them seem to suggest that the coverage on this case, according to them, is a media trial, whereas the aspect that we have been talking about is that there are certain questions that arise, and the question also is that how far can there be orders with respect to media coverage. can there be some sort of a blanket ban? Because then, you will not be able to question anyone if they make a mistake.
Absolutely. Let me also go across Siddhant. Now, these are facts that we've put out. Call data records, WhatsApp chats that the ED was able to access. The ED then passed on the information to the NCP and the CBI. And these are not manufactured or fabricated facts that are being put out. Also, Team Ria hasn't spoken anything about it. Then what really is the agenda of these individuals who've now approached the court?
Well, as Kajal rightly mentioned, these are the retired police officers, those who had served in Mumbai Police for the longest time and got retired from the post of ADGs, DGs and Commissioner of Police. Now, they have come out for the first time. They have filed a petition. Now, they say that we don't have to do anything with the agencies probing this case, but the way the witch hunt is on, this is what they say against the Mumbai Police is not justified. Now, the fact here is that at least at times now, the facts that we have put out, the documents we have put out, the evidences that we have done it in a proper manner, following all the journalistic guidelines. At the same time, these all things have been accessed by the agencies also. Now, at this point in time, petition like this, if comes up in the High Court, and if High Court orders against it, High Court order gives a major order, then it can surely set a bad precedent. So now, there are two separate petitions have been filed. One have been filed by the retired IPS officers in Maharashtra, and one have been filed by another individual. Now, the fact here is that it has become a global campaign, and what all we are reporting is completely based on the facts. We are raising question on the procedures that were followed by the Mumbai Police then, and we have found out lapses that the rule book was not followed.
Absolutely.
Even at the time
are they really scared of Times Now's investigation? Are our questions making them uncomfortable? Instead of highlighting and talking about the cover-up, or rather the botch-up as far as the investigation by the Mumbai Police is concerned, a demand there being made to, in a way, stop the media from the coverage. Stay on with us, Kajal and Siddhant. Let's also go across to our viewers. Anil Rai is joining us from Bengaluru at this point in time. Good evening, Mr. Rai. Go ahead.
Hi. Basically, I've been on this show a number of times. First of all, you guys need not worry. You're doing a fantastic job. All I have to say is I have known Dr. Pasricha from the time I used to be with TCS, and I know he's a great police officer who has designed the traffic systems in Bombay, etc. But I think these guys are all getting together because, the Bombay Police is in question. So the fact that they're being exposed is bad enough for them. Basically, because it's a whole cartel, that they have not been able to do much about the law and order in Bombay and Maharashtra also. So this is a usual thing. I don't think anything is going to happen, and you guys will come out clean and continue your investigation. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much for your support, and thank you very much for following Times Now's coverage. We, in fact, will be taking more calls on the broadcast. Call us and connect with us and tell us what you think about this move. Let me go back to our reporters now, to Kajal. Kajal, like Anil said, there are a lot of viewers who are following our coverage, who stand in support with Times Now's investigation because we've put out only facts. Call data records, WhatsApp chats that in fact have given several leads to the agencies as well.
Yes, of course, we have most of the stuff that we have put out on air is stuff that we have verified, cross-verified, and we have documents to show also for it. So yes, we have tried utmost to get as much journalistic credibility as possible in our work, and that is why there shouldn't be any problem. Like I said earlier, the question arises is that if you are asking about some sort of a gag order or some sort of a restriction on questioning people, then how far can this actually go? Because today it may be policemen, tomorrow some other government organization may also say it. So how far does this go? Because whatever the court says right now could actually be a precedent. And does it mean that you are not supposed to question anyone?
Absolutely. Are the questions making them uncomfortable? Kajal and Siddhant, stay on with us. We have another viewer, Rupa, joining us on the broadcast now. Rupa, good evening. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, see, I've been following this story very closely. And I've just switched on to see that there's been a lot of attempts to gag Times Now. The kind of appalling details that you've brought out is amazing. and the country has now woken up to a lot of horrible facts. Now, at this point in time, if your efforts are going to be thwarted, I think when a push comes to a shove, this country should wake up and people like me will start a petition in your favor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rupa. Thank you for those kind words. Thank you for following our coverage and thank you for your support. In fact, it's very, very important for Times Now. The viewers following us and we have another viewer, Chandrasekhar, joining us from Bengaluru on the broadcast. Go ahead, Mr. Chandrasekhar. What are your thoughts?
I'm Chandrasekhar from Chennai.
All right, sir, go ahead.
I have been watching your show right from the day one. And I am very much surprised by the way the things are going on. The first person to have been arrested is the Bombay Commissioner and the Bombay Police fellow at Bandra, because he has covered the criminal site as well as the criminal fellows. Okay, it's very clear from the evidences that have come out, leave alone the other evidences. The crime site has not been sealed by him, which should have been the first job. He has not done it. So that means he is going to cover it up.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, it's our job to report a story from all the possible angles, to put out facts, and rest, of course, as you know, it's the job of the agencies that are looking into the loopholes, that are looking into the cover-ups, that are looking into all the allegations to then take it forward. But thank you very much for following the coverage and for your feedback as well. Vasant Rao, another viewer, is joining us from Bengaluru now. Good evening, sir. Go ahead.
Good evening, madam. Good evening, Swati ji.
Ji, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. See, all these things, okay, I find that the entire case is being hijacked now, The real issue of murder of Sushant Singh is not being followed. Why can't they call the postmortem doctors who are conducted the postmortem? Because the case has to be led from Disha Salian's suicide case. Because of Disha Salian's thing, he was also murdered. So I feel that the case is being hijacked now, and it's a clear case of murder.
Mr. Rao, as far as the case of suicide or murder or the family's allegation is concerned, the CBI is looking into it, and the CBI already has interrogated doctors who conducted the postmortem. They are going through the autopsy details as well, just to clear that concern of yours. But thank you very much for calling us up. Rahul, another viewer, is joining us from Dehradun at this point in time. Good evening, Rahul. What do you think about this move to approach the court to gag the media, to stop the media from the coverage?
हम आपके साथ हैं इस मुहिम में। तो मैम पहले तो मुझे पूछना है, मुंबई पुलिस तो ढंग से ही काम नहीं गया, तो एक्सपोज हो रही है चीजें। देखो मैम, क्योंकि ना पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट में टाइमिंग है डेथ की, ना क्या खाया था ये है। यहाँ तो एक तो, और ये कोर्ट में क्यों जा रहे हैं मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है। और मैम बहुत सी चीजें डाउटफुल है मैम। दिशा सालियान केस में भी 8 तारीख को वीडियो आई है, जिस तरह की वो पार्टी करी थी, उसके बाद सुसाइड कैसे कर लेगा कोई, इसकी भी वो जांच नहीं करी उन्होंने ढंग से।
राहुल, ऐसे कई सवाल हैं, दरअसल ऐसे कई सवाल हैं जिनका जवाब नहीं मिला है, और हम यही कर रहे हैं टाइम्स नाउ पर। हम इन्वेस्टिगेशन मुंबई पुलिस की जो हुई है उससे लेकर आज तक जो फैक्ट सामने आ रहे हैं उन पर सिर्फ सवाल उठा रहे हैं, लेकिन ये जो सवाल हैं ये पसंद नहीं आ रहे हैं लोगों को। थैंक यू वेरी मच, Rahul. We'll keep on taking more calls. Let me quickly meanwhile go back to our reporters, to Siddhant. Now Siddhant, I'm sure you've heard all the feedback that we've got so far, and clearly, people can also see through it. People can see through how there is an attempt being made, deliberate attempt being made to gag media. And एक बात जो बिल्कुल साफ है कि व्यूअर्स समझ रहे हैं कि कवरेज किस तरह से हो रहा है, एंड दे क्लियरली कैन सी हाउ दिस कैंपेन फॉर जस्टिस फॉर सुशांत सिंह राजपूत इज नाउ इंटेंसिफाइंग.
Well, Swati, I was speaking to somebody and he clearly mentioned a very right point, saying that it is again a bit to foil the entire campaign. Now, why this is coming from senior retired IPS officers of Maharashtra, we really don't know that. But the fact here is that we had raised question that why cell phone of Sushant Singh Rajput was sent to forensics after 24 days. We also raised question that why Disha Salian's cell phone was on after 8 days of her death. We also raised questions that why power play was being played by Mumbai Police when the real people's statement were not recorded by cops. We also raised question that why in hurry the statement of Sushant's sisters were recorded. So all these are some legitimate questions that we are raising, we are asking. We have all the documents, we have all the proofs to back our stories. Each and every story we do here at Times Now goes through scrutinies. All due diligence is always followed, and then we we put that story out for our viewers. Not just that, we had also put out versions of Team Ria Camp every time they have given us their statements or quotes. And that is also a fact that they speak to the friendly channels, but whenever they had issued some quotes or a version, we had carried that as well. So raising questions
yes, absolutely,
on channels
Siddhant, you're absolutely right. We are putting out facts that we are getting now and we are accessing now from both sides. We're putting it out, the claims and the counter claims as well. We have another viewer, Kailash, joining us from Mumbai. Kailash, agar aap mujhe sun pa rahe hain, please go ahead. Good evening.
Yeah, good afternoon, madam. Thank you for having me. First of all, whoever these ex-IAS officers or ex-cops, they have filed this petition against trying to gag the media. I think definitely the court will decide. They have all the right, but it will be thrown into dustbin garbage because nobody can trample the freedom of expression, freedom of speech, especially our fourth pillar, which is the media. Secondly, madam, I think we should move it out because the story is repeating old and old that lock and key. Because 2 months back, madam, that lock was given, different lock was sent for WhatsApp. Why we are repeating the old
there
story?
are several such discrepancies. You're absolutely right. There are discrepancies that need to be questioned. That's exactly what we are doing at this point in time. Kailash, thank you very much. Another viewer, Shreya, is joining us from Kolkata. Go ahead, Shreya. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you guys. And I think you guys are doing an excellent job because already this case was closed. And it is because of the media that it was reopened. So there is no looking back to it. And how long can they gag, I mean, there's an end to it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much to all our viewers, in fact, who called us up and for following our coverage. Thank you for your feedback as well. We're taking a very short break. Kajal and Siddhant will continue to be with us.